Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, so tonight we are playing Mono Red Aggro and Pioneer. I played this deck last week off stream. Like I was just kind of playing Magic one night, just kind of like goofing off, and I 5-0'd with this list. I don't like. I just pulled a random 5-0 list, and this is what I came up with. Um, I think the addition of Den of the Bugbear is really sweet. Rimrock Knight, it's one of those cards that I really question. Like, don't get me wrong, I know it's two cards like for the price of one kind of thing, but I don't know how great it is. Um, Playing Swiss Spear and Soulscar Mage in a deck with I mean, I guess we're playing like 20 non-creature spells, so I guess it's not that weird. But like, you're not playing a lot of burn spells like Wizard's Lightning and stuff like that, so it's a little interesting. But it's pretty straightforward. Like it's just like red, like just beat you down kind of cards. Like they're pretty sweet. Four Chandras on the top end is pretty interesting. Playing four Chandras, I'm sure hasn't bit me in the butt yet, but I'm sure it will at some point. I mean, the sideboard's pretty straightforward. Four Whirling Vortex, four Lava Coil, two Ferocidon, four pieces of Graveyard Hate in the mix of Grafdigger's Cage and Soul Guide Lantern, and a Mutavault. I think the Mutavault is to help us grind against like a blue-white deck, just to kind of help us chip in that way as an extra man land. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in here. Pioneer League. The deck was pretty fun the other day when I played it. I really enjoyed it. These like style of like curving red aggro decks, and honestly, like white aggro decks like aren't really like my style. Normally, the kinds of things that I play like traditionally lean more towards um like as many 1 and 2 drops as possible and try to run you over in the first 3 turns of the game, kind of like how Burn does in Modern. But it's actually turned out to be pretty good. Like maybe these like curving red decks are like might be my thing. I don't know. Like it just kind of feels like this deck encompasses all of the best standard cards over the last like 4 or 5 years. Now I don't know if that's like completely accurate, but it is a lot of them. Definitely the best red planeswalker we've had probably ever, honestly. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what the what the deck looks like. You can see I have one trophy, and that's literally from this deck last week. I was laughing with Carly there. I told her, I said now that I'm playing this deck on camera, I said I'll like, I said I'll like, friggin' like 0-3 with the deck or something. 5 lands is a little more than I'd like to see in an opener, but we have a 1-drop into an Eidolon, so anything to really kind of help fill the curve out here is going to be pretty good. Zagath Triumph. Okay, another Eidolon. Feel like just like naturally seems pretty good against the Zagath Triome, but I could be wrong. They're probably playing like Niv or something like that. Feels like a Sylvan Caryatid or whatever. Yeah. So Eidolon might be bad on the draw here, but we don't really have another play. I guess we could have attacked before playing the Eidolon to see what our opponent did, but didn't really feel worth. Extinction event. Probably going to choose odd so he can keep his dork. Yep. Yep. Drawing a land there wasn't great. Now, having 8 utility lands does make this more tolerable, but blue, green, red, black, white for Niv and or Bring to Light. Oh my god. Puts Vanishing versus Dreadbore. So we took Dreadbore. Okay. Feels like this one's probably over. Feels like we're just going to have to take this one on the chin. Of course, to be fair, if we win the die roll here, it's a very different game, so... Scarab God. Okay, yeah, this one's definitely over. Interesting he didn't attack in for 6. Yeah, we're going to concede here. Not really anything we're doing here. We want to trade... We definitely want to trade a mountain for the Mutavault. I don't ever want to be on a 24th land. I mean, it's possible that like some people want to be, but that's not for me. Maybe we just want to cut all the Play with Fires. Let's try it like that. I kind of like that like little like curve swap that we're doing here. This hand feels pretty good. The Raminap Ruins will be a little taxing on our life total here, but... Alright, drawing another mountain's pretty solid. No more lands, please and thank you. Okay, they take 18. I'm actually pretty okay with that exchange, because Chain Whirler helps clean up the Caryatid. Probably felt like that was a pretty free block there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like given their situation, I probably would have blocked there, so... I'm going to attack for 5, play Chandra and Plus here. I guess it's possible they have like an Ether Gust or a Censor or something here, but if they do have some kind of like counter spell, like I'm kind of okay with them just taking 2 off the Eidolon to play it. Yep. Alright, so they go to 10. Even having 5 lands, I don't know what you're going to play to get out of this one. Bring to light for 4? I was like, yeah, you don't have black on the field. So they didn't pick anything. Okay. Alright, so that's kind of what we wanted it to look like. I just don't think we want to play with fire. I think having a third chain whirler is better. It can help clean up stuff, and plus it's a good body that deals 1 point when it comes into play, so. We did not learn our lesson the first game, so we're going to try it. Alright, well, hopefully we're done drawing lands here. We'd like to hit like a Vortex or a Ferocidon or something here. That's the one thing we didn't want them to have. It's interesting that they're just willing to call every time, like no matter what. It's very interesting to me. Like Boulder Rush right there, and like we're able to like pick off their Caryatid. Caryatid, however you say it. I didn't play it during that standard, so I didn't have to say it a lot. Okay, kill our Eidolon. Okay. Alright, it's not a super aggressive clock, but we can try to make something happen here. We do have quite a good utility for manlands here, so might be able to, if they don't have like a super aggressive clock here, we might be able to like push some damage through. Feels like they just get Niv here, honestly. Like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they get Shadow's Verdict or something. Caryatid is also the only way to produce red at the moment, so Shadow's Verdict. Yeah, I was like, it feels like they'll just get Niv here. Okay. Sorry, it's just kind of a tough turn there. I'm not really sure what we're supposed to be doing there. They're not really playing Solar Blaze here. Alright, maybe I'm just wrong. You just gonna Brain Delight again? Alright, well that was a blowout. Yeah, that's a tough scene. Well, we're doing the only thing I know how to do here. They have Fatal Push here, we'll probably concede. We're not in like a commanding position by any means. I'm finding it tough to find a reason to add our second Chandra to the board when we don't have a way to kill the Niv. I just don't want to give up our Chandra for no reason. Oh, that's a bitch. Land, put you to 18. Put us to 14. Alright. Chandra's doing a pretty noble act here. Problem is, we just have no way to beat up. We just have no way to beat the Niv here. Okay. Yep, we'll serve it up. So he doesn't kill our Chandra here. He puts us to 2. Or he puts us to 8. Okay, he does kill our Chandra. It's like I'm trying to imagine a world where he doesn't kill our Chandra. Nahiri, exile our token? Okay. Is a Dreadbore and 2 unknowns in hand. Animate Den. Animate Mutavault. We're just gonna shove in. Like, I'm not sure what else we're doing here. Take 5, go to 11. Next turn, we can stomp the Nahiri to stop him from ulting. Okay. This is Niv. Bring to light for 5. Our opponent's cast. This is our opponent's 3rd Bring to Light. Like, and unfortunately, there's just not a lot of stuff you can do in a situation like this. Like, you either get under your opponent, like we did last game, or you just don't in this spot. I mean, they've gained 4, and 4 is 8, and 6 is 14 life. So they've gained their life total in life this game. So play the Bone Crusher Giant. They have a Dreadbore in hand, and I'm okay. I'm leaving up so that I can animate Mutavault if I need to. Okay, they go to 12. We know none of the cards in their hand. They're down to one card. Like, we have moderately whittled them down. Our opponent's being super passive here, which I do not understand. Trying to get aggressive here. Okay. Take 2, go to 10. Play another Den. Interesting. I'm interested that they didn't just ultimate there, like get another Niv. It's a lot of cycling going on. Kind of surprised our opponent hasn't bought their Gigantha yet. Interesting. Must have drawn a way to deal with our Den. All right. That was actually a pretty close match, all things considered. I honestly think our opponent should have won about 5 turns before they did. But I don't know. It was a pretty good game, all things considered. Like, our opponent was being very conservative with the Niv. When they could have ended the game, like, honestly, just easily just ended the game 3 or 4 turns before they did if they'd just been attacking. They were at 14 for a lot of that. They weren't really in a place where they could lose the game from out of nowhere with us only having 1 or 2 cards in our hand. So I don't really know what their thought process was, but having 2 Chandras may bite us here, but it seems like a higher chance for reward than having 5 lands in our opener. So Arboreal Grazer, interesting. How are we scrying? To the bottom? Okay, well, we're going to slam an Eidolon. Heard Eidolon's pretty good against this deck. Not like unbeatable or anything, but okay. Intertesting. I mean, I can't blame them for blocking. There's probably not a situation where they're not supposed to block with the Arboreal Grazer. It's not Sylvan Caryatid like we were playing against last game. Our opponent's decision to block very aggressively last game was interesting. I'm not going to say it was wrong, but it is interesting because Sylvan Caryatid feels like it doesn't feel like just a blocker. So, okay. Looking for a Lotus Field. I presume. Okay. Chandra number 3 wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but like maybe I'm wrong, but this game feels like it's going pretty well. Okay, I was like, our opponent doesn't have a Lotus Field, and we can plus Chandra, play our next Chandra, and just minus to kill their blocker. So, I don't know. Okay, Roiling Vortex for sure. I don't know enough about this deck. I feel like Soul Guide Lantern, like, can be good, but I don't feel like it's that good. No. No, they don't really cast anything. Maybe a Mutavault over a mountain. So we cut a mountain and cut these. I like trying it this way. Normally, I'm not a big fan of lands in the sideboard, but like this Mutavault, when we need an extra man land, actually seems pretty cool. Like when we need another way to like apply pressure. We're playing a 23 land deck. I'm going to keep this. It's a little greedy, but we're playing 23 lands without fetch lands, and we're on the draw. So maybe we get punished here, but... Oh, I also just realized I didn't update the win-loss record thing. I am a big fat 0-1. Lost to Niv in the first round. Drawing Chandra wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Not bad, but just means we need to hit running lands for sure here. I'm sure this is more like what our opponent had in mind. Ooh. Alright. Well, one lander did not pan out super well. I mean, unfortunately, that's part of it sometimes, but... I guess our only real choice here is to attack. Let our opponent block. Boulder rush this so that we can kill that. And it's not great, but it's kind of the option we're left with here. Sylvan's scrying for Thespian stage. Temple seems pretty good. Scry one to the top. Okay. Alright. I feel like it's pretty, like... I mean, I kept a one-lander, so I'm not going to complain, but I feel like it's pretty, like, statistically unlikely that I haven't drawn a second land. Like, I guess I could see us getting stuck on the third or the fourth here, but not drawing a... What do we have? Played both of those. But not hitting a... Not hitting a second land feels pretty weird here. Feels like slamming Eidolon or slamming Roiling Vortex even to this point probably would have like really helped us out. Not sure. I think I would have just played the Eidolon last game because it feels like they're digging pretty hard. I imagine our opponent's just looking for a pour over the pages here. Well, I can't kill anything. Yeah, I think Eidolon might just be better here. I don't know. Maybe we're like walking into an Anger of the Gods or something here, but we're going to find out either way. Anger of the Gods still puts them going to 10, so... Cast granted. Okay. Now they're going to Anger of the Gods? Alright. And I understand why they didn't attack. They're not like an attacking deck. They don't win by attacking. And they're like really only one treasure cruise or anything away from winning the game here, so... Made black. Wonder if that means they have their like mind deception or whatever that card's called that like allows them to do dumb shit. Pretty sure that just like that ends the game on the spot. Man, if they can't kill me this turn, they are dead because I get to lightning strike them and then vortex is the last point I need, so it's kind of the joy is that I can just F6 and make them beat me here, but if not, then oh well. Gotta make a phone call real quick. So I don't know if our opponent like just didn't realize here, like maybe they forgot about the vortex triggers. I don't know. Like I guess if you don't play against that card a lot, it's not text that comes up very often. I've just kind of like learned to recognize it. Like I don't know, just after playing with the card for a while. So all right, well that makes us 1-1. I have felt like my matchup against that deck was pretty good with with the mono red aggro deck. Being on the play, I like this hand better, so we're gonna keep it. Now it is weak to Thoughtseize, so but I don't know. That's also I've also only played 2 games with this deck against the Lotus Field deck, so it's a very small sample size. But both games it has felt very very good. So I think the combination of Eidolon and Vortex just being taxing has been pretty good. Oh, it's the artifact deck. Well, portable hold that so that I can resolve so that you take damage off everything. Oh, you just had 2 portable holes. That's cool. Damn hairs. By cool, I mean very annoying. Like the fact that having 2 portable holes in your opening hand in this deck is pretty rare. I'm pretty sure there's only like 2 or 3 in the main. Well, not much we can do about that. Yep. Seems like a plan. I really don't want to minus on the Stone Coil Serpent because we're just leaving our Chandra dead to... Hey, Cal! Thanks for, man, 9 months. Thanks for the 9 months, buddy. Alright, so we're definitely playing the Chandra. The question is, what the hell are we doing with it? Like, do we minus on the Stone Coil? Or are we just plussing and hoping they can't beat it? I think our best bet here is to plus and hope they can't beat it, which is pretty aggressive. They have 3 cards in their hand, so I mean, like, one of them could be an Ensoul artifact pretty easily here. All that glitters is also a really, like, a plausible option here. Alright, our opponents had a very good opening hand here. And attack Chandra for 7. Actually, I honestly... yeah, I don't know. I think I would have attacked me all the way around. I mean, it doesn't matter because we drew 1 spell that wasn't a land. Alright. Rimrock Knight is questionable. Eidolon's good on the play. I don't know. I kind of want all this stuff, honestly. Maybe cut 2 Swiss Spears? That feels weird. I don't know. Let's try it and see what happens. Chain Whirler's good. Bone Crusher Giant's good. Chandra's good. Lightning Strike, Play with Fire, Spikefield Hazard, all good. Soul Scar Mage is awesome. Like, maybe we don't want the Ferocidon? The Ferocidons? I don't know. Frostodon seems good, though. Like, it feels like we could tax them pretty well if we ended up with, like, a removal spell on 1 into Eidolon on 2 for Frostodon on 3. They don't really have any, like, lifelink, though, I don't think, so... Well, this is removal on 1, Eidolon on 2. So there is that. Okay. Kill their guy. That could be a stub. Play Eidolon, say go. If he attacks, I'm blocking here. Interesting. Alright, we're going to go to 9 here. And we're just going to say go. And if he doesn't add another threat to the board, Frostodon will allow us to just chip through for 3 until we eventually win the game. Unless he's going to use his Darksteel Citadel here to play a 4/4 Stone Coil Serpent, there's nothing he can do. Block with an Eidolon. I am okay with that trade, and I always will be. Okay. Actually. 3, 5, 7. But then I'm at 5. Alright, so he has to have a way to remove both of my guys here to kill me. Or I guess a Shrapnel Blast does it if he's playing red. He's probably sitting there going, why didn't he attack with his Eidolon last turn? But I was playing it more safe as opposed to a more aggressive line, which allowed us to attack with both, but left us dead to a portable hole. Okay. Okay. Any creature, anything. All right, let's go for it. He could have a stub in his hand. It's possible he left stubs in. Okay. I was like, I don't understand. I don't think paying 1 matters here. Okay. Nice. You have another stub here? Oh, even if you do, you can't use it because of Spire and Mana Confluence. Alright, cool. So even if he did have one, it wasn't going to matter there. Alright, we definitely do not want Eidolons on the draw. I mean, maybe Eidolon's better because it blocks? Let's try 2 Eidolon on the draw. It blocks. Rimrock Knight does not. Rimrock Knight. Oh, excuse me, does not block, so there's no point in having it in after combat. Our opponent keeps 7. We have no removal. I'm going to mulligan this. Hand's not a ton better. We still don't have any removal spells, but we can't go to 5 here. We're just going to have to hope that we can throw enough bodies in front to make it worth it. Plus, Soulscar Mage might be the key if we peel into a... Chain Whirler. You never know how things might play out. This Ensoul artifact. Okay. Pilling a land was not what I wanted there, but would have loved to have seen like a play with fire or something. Yeah, no blocks. We're gonna go to 15 here. Okay. Well, we're on the draw a lot of lands train. Drawing a lightning strike there would have been pretty good. Do you have a third one? There's no way. Wow. Okay. Yep. We drew lands every turn, and our opponent had 3 Ensoul artifacts. Nothing you can do about that. Those hands rarely to never happen, so you just gotta take that one on the chin, unfortunately. Deck's not performing super well tonight. Like, not that it's like performing terribly or anything, but like we're getting the all land side of the 23 lands, or we're getting the or we're just not drawing lands. Like we kept that one hand, we kept that one lander where we didn't see lands. I can't pronounce that, so sorry I didn't get to read that in time. So Smug, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I can't remember what I was saying now. Now I've lost my entire train of thought. Oh, like we're just kind of getting abused by the lands. Like, not that the land base has been terrible or anything. God, is this auras? Oh, it's... Like white-black aggro? This is white-black humans, which is what my first thought is. Except he's not playing Lyris. I was like, then Goblin Chainwhirler will clean up. Very nice. Just going to play Soulscar Mage because it'll probably play better to the board. Oh, yes. You love to see it. You love to see it. Thanks for playing. Not that the game's over by any stretch of the imagination. Our opponent could draw a land and get out of this pretty easily. Like, and start playing spells. But the fact that our opponent has missed land drops here. Alright, we're going to attack for 4. I have no idea what our opponent's doing, but we're going to hold to Stomp here. That was my original thought. I was like, because if we were going to play the Rimrock Knight, we should have played it before combat. Okay. Our opponent does nothing and we win. I mean, I don't really know what there is to say about that one. Automatically offhand, we're going to bring in Lava Coils. And on the draw, we're going to take out... I don't know, that's tough, because Eidolon could be good on the draw. Let's do 2 and 2. Just try it that way. Rimrock Knight can't block, but it can be a good combat trick if we need it to be. And Eidolon does not block well. We would be keeping a no-lander that is a 1-lander on the draw with 3 1-drops and 2 removal spells. So again, we're going to try this. Hopefully we don't get Thoughtseize. Because if we get Thoughtseize, this is going to look pretty goofy. I think this is like white-black humans in some way. Like the Paladin class, like, I don't know, this just makes me think humans. Just white-black aggro. Okay. Land. Just going to go ahead and kill that now. Don't really flex screw him with that thing. We're going to save our Lava Coil for either a big threat or the Bloodsoaked Champion if we need it. Just going to keep playing removal the deck here. That's just what mono red aggro does in a lot of these situations. It just ends up playing mono red removal. Rally the ranks. Okay, so it is like this human-y thing. They're just playing something... They're just playing something that doesn't allow for Lyris. And I'm curious to know what it is. Like, is it Gideon, maybe? Thraben Inspector's a good one. We have wasted 2 lightning strikes, so the odds of us drawing into something that allows us to kill that is not super likely. We're just going to dump our hand here and just kind of go ham. Remove that. Kill that. They're playing main deck Paladin class. Maybe Elite Spellbinder. Spellbinder is actually a pretty good option for them not to play Lyris. I mean, that's a good reason to not play Lyris, too. Elite Spellbinder is one of those cards that I actually really like. I really enjoy that card. Of course, it kind of feels like if we were going to go that route, maybe we should just be on, like, the Collected Company plan. A mountain hits the exile zone. We're going to leave Swisspear back to block. I do want to keep our Chandra alive here. Our opponent, isn't, like, basically dead or anything. So them actually having something to bounce back into this game doesn't seem unreasonable. And I feel like leaving one blocker back to try and, like, mitigate the fact of losing our Chandra seems okay. Dire Tactics. Okay, so they killed our Swiftspear, Luminarch Aspirant. So they'll have a 3/3 and a 3/2. Down goes our Chandra. Lava Coil? Alright, let's pump up the jam. That's really all we have from here, so. Take 6, go to 3. The fact that they're playing Castle Ardenvale is also kind of interesting. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong by any means, but it is interesting nonetheless. But Knowledge Marshal? Yep, we go to 9. Yep, okay. Alright, well, I don't know if like our opponent's deck didn't really function at a high level or what happened there, but it felt like a pretty good showing that game. I mean, Goblin Chainwhirler was just kind of like the nuts game 1 with them missing land drops. And then game 2, we played removal, like mono red removal, and they didn't really have anything. Notably, one of the things that you will run into is that matchup a lot turns into who runs out of cards first. Like who runs out of threats first. Like if mono white ends up getting their threats bigger than the amount of removal spells you can play plus add to the board, then you just kind of like you're just kind of up a creek without a paddle. Goblin Chainwhirler is like really good at like mitigating that like the difference there, like the kind of like the middle level between that because it's a threat and it kind of helps clear up the board. So I don't know. Used to when mono red was like really big in standard a few years ago, like there was a big mono white aggro deck, and the only way that you could get out of it was to get down was to play like removal spell on 1, removal spell on 2, removal spell on 3, and then slam an experimental frenzy and just let the cards just flow nonstop. That was really the only way you could get out of situations like that. Chicago's down 8 at halftime. Chicago's had a 5-1 start though. If anybody's an NBA fan, Chicago's had a 5-1 start, which is like the best start they've had in like probably like the last 20 years. So I really think Den of the Bugbear helped this deck a lot. Like it just like the bigger red deck played like a couple Mutavaults in the main, and like I can't remember what else it played. It played Castle Embereth, I think. Played like a 1 or 2 of Castle Embereth before like we had Den of the Bugbear, but having Din as like just a really good creature land and having Ramunap Ruins as like reach is just really good. Still searching. I feel like this deck is like pretty well suited against the metagame. I feel like it has some like obviously some better matchups than like other like it has better matchups and worse matchups, but I feel like it's pretty well suited against the metagame. I've played this deck once before. When I say once before, I mean like months ago when it was playing like Kari Zev and stuff like that, and we 4-1 with the deck. And then I played this deck. I played this deck last week and 5-0'd with it, like last Tuesday night when I was just kind of like goofing off, just like sitting around like watching TV and playing games one night. And now we're playing it tonight, and we're 2-2 tonight. But the games have been close. Like the Niv Mizzet game, we like almost. Excuse me. They gained 14 life. Like so if we'd drawn like a Vortex or a Ferocidon, we would have been able to like mitigate that and win the game. They gained 14 life, and I think we still had them under 10. Like we were giving it quite a run earlier. And then our other loss was so we lost to Niv, which was a pretty close game 3, and then we beat up on the Lotus Field deck. What did we just lose to? Does anybody remember what we just lost to? I can't remember what our third loss was to, because we played 3 games, but like, oh, we lost to Ensoul Artifact. That's what we lost to. Yeah, because they had 3 Ensoul Artifacts on 3 Darksteel Citadels. That was actually pretty like crazy, honestly. That kind of stuff doesn't happen very often. And then we just beat up on what was like black-white humans. So, like to get a win and finish with a 3-2. You know what I was thinking about the other day? I wonder if Orzhov Auras is any good in the metagame. Does anybody know? Like, do people still play Orzhov Auras in the metagame? No, opponent. Please. Play. Yes. Our opponent's playing Luris. Feels like they could be like any number of things. Burn, Auras, Insel Artifact. Boggles, apparently. I always really enjoy playing against the Boggles deck in this format because like it's so bad, but so like kind of fun to watch, like to kind of play against. Because I have Boggles put together. It's actually what Carly likes to play in Modern, um, but like it's just so not good in this format. All right, try to get aggressive here. Because next turn we can play Soulscar Mage and Eidolon, or if they don't strap up their Glade Cover Scout here, we can just slam the Chain Whirler and just make them cry. There's some 3-mana enchantment that allows them to draw cards or do something over time, I think. So if they slam that here, Season of Growth. Whew! 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 Yeah, you love to see it. Mmm. Num 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 num. You love to see it. Let's go. How do they scry? I should have been paying attention. Puts 1 card on top. Okay. Well, the Chain Whirler was pretty good. Okay. Saram is also pretty good. Puts 1 card on the bottom. Plays Selfless Savior. So because they have the Selfless Savior, I don't feel like attacking with the Soulscar Mage. Maybe I should have. Maybe I just missed out on free points there. I don't know. I'm going to slam a Soulscar Mage and play the Eidolon here. I'd like to tax their mana. It's so ironic that I was just talking about if black-white auras was good enough to be played in this format. Now we're playing against green-white auras. Because this deck doesn't really feel like Boggles to me. Like, I'd call it Boggles when I see it, or Bogles, I guess. I think Bogle is actually technically correct. But I always call it that when I see it, but it's not that. Like Boggles in Modern is like, slam a hexproof guy, strap it up, go to work. Hopefully we get him with the interaction here, and they sacrifice their Selfless Savior. Yes. Yes, he doesn't know. It doesn't matter. It gets counters, big boy. Oh, I think he realized right after he did it. All right, cool. I kind of like that interaction. It's actually kind of fun to like do that and like kind of see the look on people's face. Um, if this were actual Boggles, I would say that Lava Coil is not good because we can't target any of their stuff, but that's not the case here. Um, maybe Ferocidon's good, like in a vacuum. I don't know. Rimrock Knight seems terrible. Swiftspear seems like the worst card here. Maybe Ferocidon's worse here. I don't know. I wonder what mono white aggro looks like in Pioneer. Like actual just mono white, like no black, no green, no nothing else, just mono white aggro. I wonder what that looks like in Pioneer. We're gonna keep this turn 1 and 2 interaction. If they have a Glade Cover Scout, there's not much we can do about it. But if they have creatures that they have to try and strap up otherwise, we can take advantage of that. Now, being on the draw, this does kind of suck because we do have removal here. Like, so if they just like play a couple of guys here, like, there's not much we can do about it. Like, if they strap up their Glade Cover Scout, I mean, there's not much we can do about it. Yep. Come on, big guy. After you attack, you can F6, buddy. All right, let's see what they do here. I'm curious. Like, if they're willing to pay for life, I'm actually kind of okay with that because 1 mana, you take 4. Like, okay. I'm curious to see. Like, maybe they're playing like Blossoming Defense or something here. They are in green. Snakeskin Veil. It's probably something I should have considered before I did that. But again, we have played 1 mana Boros Charm and actual Boros Charm at this point. So I'm not going to complain about that. Al Saeed's a good one. Interesting. Oh my god, that's going to be a problem. By a problem, I mean like we probably just lost. Like, as I'm trying to think of a situation where we actually managed to get out of that one. I think it has to involve something like, how's the Magic going tonight? Magic's been pretty good. I'm playing a little mono red. I know it's nothing out of the ordinary, but we're 2 and 2 tonight, so okay, we're gonna pack it in. All right, I was not ready for Al Saeed into double ethereal armor. Something I should have been playing around there, honestly. Let's see. Is there anything we want to change? I think Ferocidon's good. I don't think Vortex is good enough in this spot. I think we'd rather just be playing removal here. Bop 'em. That's right. Hoping I finish here with a win. This is one of those matchups that could go either way. Like, if I have a good aggressive start and a couple removal spells, there's not much my opponent can do about it here, but plus if they have a life gain creature, like if they have like a strapped up Al Saeed and we just have a wrong way. And we just have a rampaging Ferocidon, it doesn't matter. I feel like Chainwhirler and Ferocidon's kind of one of those cards that you can like interchange in the main if you need to when you're playing this deck, depending on how the metagame looks. Our opponent keeps 7. If they kept 7 and have an actual like Bogle here, I'll be pretty surprised because that'll be 3 games in a row they've not mulliganed and had turn 1 Glade Cover Scout. Or I guess there is no Slippery Bogle in this format. It's just Glade Cover Scout. All right. Attack all. Send in the clowns. What have you been up to, Ben? What's going on in your world, buddy? Now that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not playing games with that. That thing will create a problem in a hurry because Chain Whirler is exactly what I need. Chain Whirler to help me clean up the board. I would have liked to have been mana efficient there and just played our Chain Whirler, but I think it's better to keep the Hushbringer off the board. All right, game. Oh, it's a good thing for us we have a Chandra. Get a minus on that. I'm only going to attack with one of the clowns so that I can protect my Chandra, because I will be willing to throw my Soulscar Mage in front of something if I need to. Oh man. Oh, okay. That's fine. Add mana. Play opposing Chain Whirler number 2. And then next turn, I have Spike Field Hazard, which feels pretty sweet. Am I winning? Yes, you are winning, Kyle. I'm hoping we're about to win real quick right here. I'm about to ask this guy to hold my bag for me real quick while we take him to work. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Block, don't block. It doesn't matter what you do. Hey! Alright. Well, we finished off with a 3-2 tonight. It's not too bad. Fall fell a little bit for my 5-0 there recently, but we also had a pretty weird league. It started off pretty normal, and then it ended in a pretty awkward place. But that's one of the things that I like about Pioneer, is that the metagame is like always changing, and there's always different decks being put in there. How goes Mono Red? Glad I could catch a Pioneer stream today. Yeah, what's going on, man? I mean, we went 3-2. It wasn't like the deck played pretty well, like nothing crazy. We actually just finished our 3-2 league here. We were talking about it a little bit. I mean, the deck plays pretty well. I really liked it. Our league was a little weird tonight. We played against Niv, which we lost to in a close game 3, and then we played against a Lotus Field deck, which the combination of Eidolon and Rolling Vortex just kind of allowed us to beat up on them. Oh, excuse me. And then round 3 we played against we lost to Ensoul Artifact, where our opponent had 3 Ensoul Artifacts on Darksteel Citadels. Game 3, which was pretty interesting. And then game 4, we played against Black White Humans, and we just kind of like chain whirlered them mono red removaled. And then the last match we just played was against Green White Auras. Pretty interesting, but we just kind of ran them over. So we played 3 games. Coming on at the end, when's the next Pioneer stream? I'll probably stream like I don't know. I'll probably stream like tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Kind of depends on what my week looks like. Um, I'll probably stream at least once or twice more this week. I think I'm gonna have a. I think I'm gonna stream on Saturday. I think there's a Pioneer challenge on Saturday that I'm gonna stream. So I updated my red white mid range deck and made a mono red devotion wish deck as well. You should shoot me that updated red white mid range deck list. I might stream that this week. Honestly, I was pretty interested by your red white mid range deck. All right. Well, this has been Mono Red Aggro and Pioneer. I like the deck's awesome. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know what I would change to this point. Like the Mutavault in the sideboard is better than I thought it was gonna be originally. It helps in grindy matchups. Rimrock Knight is one of those cards that feels like could be something else, but it's also really good. So I don't know. Deck feels pretty solid. If you want to stick around, I think we're gonna play some historic after this. I've been playing mono red aggro and historic too, so I've been wanting to get a few games of that in. So if you want to see historic, hang out. If not, thanks for stopping by tonight. I appreciate it.